There's nothing great about taking punishment, being able to talk, voicing your opinion, and then when you're in a position where you can't talk and you can barely walk, the road would say that, oh my God.
See, he don't see this fight going the distance. Neither does I.
He went 12 intense rounds with him, so Floyd Mayweather knows exactly how dangerous Manny Pacquiao is. Now, Mayweather has a serious message for Mario Barrios. He believes the younger fighter is making a serious error by facing a battle-tested legend like Pacquiao. While public opinion leans toward Barrios because of his youth and drive, Floyd disagrees. He firmly believes Manny still has the skills to defeat the WBC welterweight title holder. Let's break down what Floyd actually said as he advised Barrios to be very cautious. Boxing is supposed to favor the youth, their reflexes, stamina, and snap. But what if a veteran still performs like he did 15 years ago? What if he can handle and beat today's rising stars? That's exactly where Manny Pacquiao is standing right now. At 46 years of age, Pacquiao is well beyond the standard retirement point for most prize fighters. Yet here's the catch: he doesn't appear to be. He's still blindingly quick, his footwork remains crisp, and that trademark explosiveness hasn't vanished at all.
Very strong. He's very fast. And he's still Manny Pacquiao looks like 10 years ago.
Though analysts love to emphasize Mario Barrios' youth and momentum, not everyone is writing Manny off. In fact, some of boxing's finest legends are backing Pacquiao, even if only symbolically. One major name is Vasiliy Lomachenko, who recently stated that Manny's age won't be a deciding factor in this matchup. According to Loma, Pacquiao moves just as sharply as he did 10 years ago. Coming from someone as technically brilliant as Lomachenko, that's a serious endorsement.
One of the most important things about my career was my defense.
But perhaps the most unexpected supporter is none other than Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Yes, that Floyd Mayweather, the same man who fought Manny back in 2015 in the so-called Fight of the Century, the same guy who, according to most, outboxed Pacquiao across 12 rounds and walked away with a clear decision win. Still, even after that triumph, Floyd isn't ignoring Pacquiao's chances against Barrios. In fact, he's actively warning the younger challenger.
Day in and day out, he go out there and he produce. And that's what it's really about. It's about producing. A hell of a training team, my king.
Think about it. Pacquiao isn't some retired legend making a comeback to collect a paycheck.
Some dismiss Manny's legacy simply because he lost to Floyd, but let's get real. Losing to Mayweather is no disgrace. Floyd conquered an entire era of boxing talent. He's one of the most cerebral and elusive boxers to ever live. If anyone truly understands Pacquiao's abilities, it's the man who spent 36 minutes trading punches with him. So what's Floyd saying now? He thinks Barrios is making a huge mistake. According to Floyd, Barrios might be underestimating what it really takes to share the ring with Pacquiao. It's not just about how old Manny is or how fast he moves. It's about ring intelligence, experience, and the relentless drive that Manny brings every time he fights. Floyd says Manny still has it, and he warns Barrios not to ignore that.
Manny has so much experience that he could get through anything. As long as they have the right plan, whatever they do, man, they'll be able to do it.
Think about it. Pacquiao isn't just some retired icon returning to grab a payday. This isn't for fun. This isn't a gimmick. He's entering the ring to win. Anyone who's followed Manny's career knows he never takes anything lightly. He's a machine when it comes to training, staying fit, and preparing for war. Of course, that doesn't mean Barrios is an easy target. He's young, has longer reach, and is hungry to prove he belongs. His recent performances have turned heads, and it's clear he sees this as his moment, a shot to add a legend's name to his resume. But that's exactly where the danger lies. Overconfidence against someone like Pacquiao could cost him everything.
Leonard said when I was in the back, Leonard said he don't see this fight going the distance. Neither does I.
Don't forget what separates Manny from the rest. The angles, the lightning footwork, and combinations you never see coming. These aren't things you prepare for by watching highlight clips. You have to feel it live inside the ring. And by the time you figure it out, you could already be down and out on the canvas.
At any point, did a fighter ever make you feel like, oh,
Floyd's concern clearly stems from respect. He knows firsthand how tricky Manny is. Even though Floyd won their clash, he had to perform at the absolute peak of his powers just to pull off the win. It was no walk in the park. Floyd understands Barrios might be heading into a far tougher challenge than he realizes. When you're Mayweather, one of boxing's most dominant and unbeaten champions, people often wonder which opponent really tested you. He's fought elite names like De La Hoya, Canelo, Mosley, Hatton, and others. But when asked who truly pushed him, Floyd's reply wasn't just eye-opening, it was extremely flattering.
No, but I've been in a fight. I get like in the third or fourth round, like tonight gonna be a rough night.
Floyd said that when reflecting on the hardest bouts of his career, one fight comes to mind. He vividly recalls hitting round 3 or 4 and realizing the fight ahead would be exhausting, brutal, and entirely different than anything he had experienced before. That opponent? Manny Pacquiao.
Okay. One of the best fighters I've faced was Manny Pacquiao. He's a future Hall of Famer.
what the is it about Manny, man? He just don't stop coming.
But you know me, I keep my distance because he's real short. I keep turning.
Yes, the Filipino warrior who etched his name in history by claiming world titles across 8 weight classes, from 108 pounds up to 154. Think about that. He went from flyweight to light middleweight, beating elite opponents and often knocking them out. Floyd admitted Pacquiao was relentless. "I had to keep my distance," he said, because Manny just wouldn't stop coming forward. Round after round, Pacquiao pressed, firing shots from insane angles. Floyd knew, even with his defensive genius, this wasn't a guy you could afford to be careless against.
I just want to say this to the world. It's amazing how a fighter can come from, I think, 108 all the way to 154 and knock out all these guys. To me, it's amazing. I guess he's just blessed.
In another interview, Floyd shared how deeply impressed he was by Pacquiao's achievements. How could a fighter climb through so many weight classes and still remain a threat at every level? It wasn't just about moving up in divisions. Manny demolished world-class opponents along the way, often delivering devastating knockouts. That combination of power, speed, and resilience across multiple divisions is incredibly rare and something boxing may never witness again.
The best fighter I fought probably was Manny Pacquiao because of his movement.
But it wasn't just Pacquiao's record that stood out to Floyd. It was the experience of fighting him in the flesh. Mayweather said outright that Manny Pacquiao was the toughest opponent he ever squared off against. Let that settle in. Coming from a man who went undefeated and stepped into the ring with countless legends, that's one of the greatest compliments a fighter can give. Floyd explained that Manny's movement, odd angles, and surprise punches were unlike anything he'd ever seen.
But he's a hell of a fighter, and I can see why he won so many fights, and I can see why he's going down as a Hall of Famer. It's just certain moves that he made.
But during the bout, Floyd had a realization. This is exactly why Pacquiao had beaten so many great champions. It wasn't just his incredible speed or non-stop pressure. It was the subtle, clever tactics Manny used that no other fighter could imitate. Unique movements that simply couldn't be reproduced or defended.
Manny Pacquiao, I think that he's one of the best. He's one of the best. We was able to come together we didn't come together when we wanted to, but we was able to come together and get the fans a hell of.
And when Pacquiao finally hung up his gloves, Floyd didn't hesitate to show love. He publicly called Manny one of the greatest boxers to ever live, giving him full GOAT-level recognition. For all the hype and trash talk leading up to their battle, when the dust settled, Floyd showed nothing but deep admiration.
Look at guys like Sugar Ray Robinson. You guys look at certain fighters like Muhammad Ali. There's nothing great about taking punishment, being able to talk, voicing your opinion, and then when you're in a position where you can't talk and you can barely walk, the world want to say that, oh.
Now here's where things take a sharp turn, because Floyd truly understands what it means to stand across from Pacquiao. He recently issued a clear warning to Mario Barrios, the young man preparing to fight the iconic legend. And this wasn't said lightly. Floyd sounded genuinely worried. He flat out said, "It's not worth it. Taking that kind of abuse from someone like Manny just to chase legacy? It's a dangerous gamble. Pacquiao throws an insane number of punches, and even if many get blocked, the damage builds up fast." Floyd said that kind of relentless pressure, especially from Manny, can leave lasting damage on your mind, your body, even your ability to walk or talk clearly in the future.
If I got to be put in that position to be great, then that's not for me.